Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. You're not going to believe what I have found. That's right, the Motherload. This is a bunch of early reviews that never made it to YouTube. Yeah, that checks out. And why aren't they on a hard drive, you ask? Well, because the hard drive died. Yeah, yep, that story seems airtight. No more questions needed. So without any further ado, here is the reviews off this tape. It's definitely off this tape and not manufactured in any way. Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing DonPachi, and I just want to point out one thing real quickly. The very first sentence I say DonPachi is a cave shoot 'em up. It sounds like a K shoot 'em up. What is a K shoot 'em up? I don't know. That is my 20th take. It's my lazy accent. I can't fix it. I don't know how to, so I really stick the landing. And look, it'll be much more obvious to you when you listen to the very first sentence. Here, check it out. DonPachi is a cave shoot 'em up released in 1995, and it was the first game developed by Cave. The story is you're on a training mission and you have to shoot your allies to gain entry into the elite squadron known as the DonPachi Squadron. If I had a single word to describe Cave games, it's consistent. I've actually reviewed a Cave game already on this channel, Steep Slope Sliders, which is from a wildly different genre. And even though that's a snowboarding game and this is a shoot 'em up, the one thing they both have in common is how well both games are made. And while Falcom handled this exact port, they did a pretty good job. I don't think the popularity of the shoot 'em up genre has ever really gone anywhere, and it's not to say that the audience hasn't grown with time, because it certainly has. They were always making plenty of games for the genre back in the 90s, and a lot of them started in the arcade, proving their popularity. They're still making games for the genre, but due to the way that games are categorized now and the sheer volume of games they now have to compete with, it's harder for shoot 'em ups to find their place. Where I'm going with this is shoot 'em ups compared to the 90s now have been lumped in with the indies, even though they have the presentation and build quality of something far more prestigious. So, while the gaming market has changed dramatically, games like this still have a very dedicated following which goes beyond trends. So let's take a moment to do a breakdown of a game that fits this exact description. There's a particular format that shoot 'em ups have in presentation, and this game is absolutely no different. For me, it's always worked because there's very little you can criticize. The font, the placement, the health bars of enemies, the score, very little ever gets redesigned. Maybe a few things added here and there, and maybe a minor change, but there's a reason it's like this. The focus is on graphics, sound, and gameplay, and while, okay, that might win the award for the most obvious thing anyone has said about a video game ever in the history of reviews, short of saying games need to be good, the most you can say about the presentation of the game is that it looks like the very best of every other excellent game in the genre because it's stuck to the template. Graphics are excellent. I reviewed Magical Drop 2 and 3 last year, and I feel this is going to have similar results, knowing full well I have to review DonPachi at some point too. I said that Magical Drop 2 had excellent graphics and would find it hard to imagine where they can improve with the sequel. But DonPachi also has excellent graphics, so where can it go from here? More defined bullets? More outrageous design ideas? I have no idea, but just know you're in safe hands here. The detailing is excellent, it has a tape mode, no glitching of any kind, and the bullets are well defined here, not making the screen to be this big, huge, confusing mess. I was going to say that the sound fits this game like a dick in the butt, snug. But we're better than that. That sort of third-rate metaphor is maybe what I've cultivated in this channel, but I know we can do better. It's lazy, and all for what? Cheap laughs? No. We're above that. It fits the game like the final piece of a 1,000-piece puzzle, where the picture is of a dick in the butt. Gameplay ticks the two fundamental boxes of a shoot 'em up. Difficult, and you shoot shit. But more in depth, it has a combo system if you destroy chains of enemies in a certain amount of time. And the more enemies, the higher the score. You can hold a maximum of 7 bombs, and on top of your regular shooting ability, you have a laser which does far more destruction, but makes your ship far slower to move. You can also collect golden bees and golden stars. The more you collect, the more points each bee is worth. In essence, the longer you survive, the higher the score will naturally be. You can also collect power-ups to make your attack stronger, not to mention the controls are tight like my grip on Reality. The replayability is there because, well, the game is hard. Okay, there's only 5 levels, but it loops, making the game increasingly difficult, as well as a 2-player. Would I recommend this game? Yes. This is one of the best starts to a pretty amazing series of shoot 'em ups. It has enough small touches to make it its own.